Welcome everyone to another episode of the world's greatest news and reviews.
Giving you opinions about nerd stuff is our superpower.
I'm Captain Mao.
I'm your boy T Crawler.
I'm Hailstorm.
I'm Weapon 2, and it's tricky to rock a rhyme that's right on time. It's tricky. It's tricky.
Thank you for joining us on episode 20 of the world's greatest podcast.
20,
milestone
20.
number. We made it. And as also, if you guys are watching or listening, you heard T Crawler is making his triumphant return.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah, everyone, round of applause.
Yay!
He's doing what we've been doing for weeks. Let's applaud him, though. But I dare say Patreon Dan Coles is going to be very happy.
Mustache.
But the mustache beard is back. T Crawler,
Jeez,
how the hell you been?
Oh my
excited?
God, I'm so excited to be back. I'm ecstatic. See this guy here? I don't know if you guys see it. Happy, right there. Happy
Spider-Man.
Stands for happy. That's me. Yeah. And I'll say right now, Spider-Verse. And we haven't even talked about anything.
All right.
But seriously, I'm just glad to be back, guys. I watched you, and I got to say, thank Hailstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for,
Aww.
you're really. I mean, she's holding it down, and she's just. I mean. Gosh, I remember when you first did one of these and you were like so nervous, and like I've been listening to episodes. You're just a natural. Like it's awesome. Like seriously, like you holding it down, and I'm glad she's part of it. I'm glad. I mean, when you became part of it, I was glad then. I mean, I'm super glad now. Like you're just freaking doing your thing. It's awesome.
I think she transitioned from holding it down to holding us up.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the Rock right there. She's
Aw,
But, yeah,
Whoa!
but yeah,
whoa,
I missed
let's
you
not go
guys.
that far.
I missed you guys, and I'm super glad I'm back.
You are giddy.
Oh man, I
You
am.
have
I
like
can't.
this childlike whimsy in your eyes.
Yeah.
Give it a few episodes. That'll get beat right out of you. It's fine. It's fine.
Gee.
But I'm excited. And also episode 20. That's not
20.
nothing.
That's
awesome.
huge.
That's actually
That is pretty
huge.
awesome.
Big news,
it's a
big
big
house.
deal.
It's exciting.
Yes.
It's been a long time coming. Woo!
All right. Let's jump right into it and let's get to some news. So, supposedly, yeah, nailed it. Henry Cavill is coming back to be Superman. He's training. I think it was Deadline reported on it. They're saying he's not going to be in Man of Steel 2, but is going to be in multiple movies moving forward. So my question is, one, do we care?
Who's going to be in Man of Steel 2?
They're not making a Man of Steel 2.
Okay, I'm just checking. You made
Okay.
it sound like there was a movie
No.
coming out about
No
Superman
Man of
that he
Steel 2.
wasn't going to be in.
No
Okay.
Man of Steel 2. They should have.
right.
No Man of Steel 2, but he's going to
Got
be in DC movies.
Nice.
So, what movies do we think he's going to be in? What would you want him to be in? Do you even care? Whatever. Let's start with T. Crawler.
I'm just glad to hear that he's back, because I honestly I can't see. For a long time, Christopher Reeves was Superman, right?
Right.
And then when Henry, is it Cavill or Cat? Like
I say
it's
Cavill.
Cavill.
I don't know if it's Cavill.
I think it's Cavill.
So when
Cavill.
Henry, first name basis,
Our boy
friend of
Henry.
the show, right?
Yeah.
I call him Cavill.
Cavill. But when I saw Man of Steel, like I was like, it's pretty much instantly that was
so simple. Cavill. Sorry. Because he's ill. Okay, go ahead.
crazy.
We'd be illin'.
Illin. Okay, yeah, but I just thought that he was like the Superman, right? So to hear that he's not going to be anything, it was just kind of a downer. Like I didn't want anybody to replace him. It's like it just kind of made me not interested in anything else. Like so to hear that he's back, he's been working on everything. It's like freaking awesome. Like, and I hope he's in. He should have been in Shazam, not just the
suit. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I'm hoping that he's in. Freaking almost any movie that has anything to do with Superman. It's like,
Yeah, I agree. Like as a child, I loved the Christopher Reeve Supermans. Like I still do. Like
Right.
the nostalgia, that music hits and the nostalgia's hit, and it's great. But he is like to me my definitive modern day Superman,
Yes.
like a modern version.
Yeah.
And it's great because he legitimately loves playing the character.
Right.
He said it over and over again. So the fact that they never made a Man of Steel 2, that they didn't have a plan moving forward with him, was a fucking shame, because he was eager and wanted to do it. And like you have what should have been the cornerstone of your universe.
Right.
And you're just not doing anything with it. So yes, of course I'm happy and I'm excited that they have a plan and they're going to put him in movies, but I don't trust Warner Brothers for a fucking minute. I don't trust
What
that.
about Batman?
If they
That's
have a
what I
plan,
have to say.
are they going to stick
Batman.
to it? Yeah. What the hell's happening? Is it going to be DCEU? Is that even part of their like universe anymore? Like nobody knows. Now, yes, he should have been in Shazam. He should be in Black Adam and throw down with Black Adam, but apparently he's not going to be in that. I think they've actually said that. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm glad he's back for sure. I mean, I agree with everything that you said. I don't know. As far as what movies, like if we're talking about what storylines we want to go with, I don't know. This is the first step in a long time that I felt they've gone in the right direction, where I was super excited. When I heard that, I was like, oh my God, they're like doing the right thing as far as I'm concerned. So I liked it. I loved it.
Well, unlike Batman and James Bond, I like some continuity in my movie characters, especially when it comes to Superman. So I'm happy that they're going to stay with Henry Cavill at least for a little while longer, because I do think he's a great Superman, and that's hard for me to say because I was such a huge fan of Christopher Reeve. But I do think that it's a good step for them to make whatever more they can make with him.
Right, because you're like, regardless of these, consistency is what you want from that character and want from this universe really moving forward, right?
Yeah.
I hope they keep him till Kingdom Come. Superman.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh, man. Old and his gray hair.
Yeah. I mean, if you just adapt that storyline anyway, that'd be great. So
yeah,
I'm on board for that. But yeah, we're excited he's back. Lack of faith in Warner Brothers and any kind of plan and foresight that they have, but it's cool. We're excited. It's cool. He was posting on Instagram showing that he's working out again. Not like he was ever out of shape, because, he was pretty jacked on The Witcher.
Yeah.
But this is awesome. I hope they do good things with that character. But next story, HBO Max launched. It's a thing. It's definitely a thing you can watch. Should you? Probably not.
So it's real. It's not make believe.
It's not fictitious. It is a real thing. All right. So if you guys are confused, if you have an HBO subscription, you log into HBO Max with your provider's information, and you have access to the app. If you have HBO Now, the individual streaming service you would pay for, if you didn't have it through a provider, you should have HBO Max. It should actually just change on your phone. The problem is, I don't know who the fuck HBO Max is for, because you can get all their shit pretty much anywhere else. I have Hulu, and apparently I have all the HBO shows and stuff on Hulu. And so I'm like, well, why do I need this app? There's not that much DC Universe content on there. There's the Batwoman's on there. No other CW shows. The Schumer-Burton Batman movies are there. No Dark Knight trilogy. Some of the Snyderverse is there. Not all of it. So I'm just like, not, and like some of the animated shows are there. Well, not the good ones. Not Batman the Animated Series. Not Batman Beyond. Not Justice League. Like none of the like really awesome ones. Those are all in DC Universe. So if you have DC Universe and any other way to watch HBO, I don't know why you're going to pay money for this.
So there's HBO Go,
HBO Go,
HBO Now,
and now HBO Max,
HBO Max,
and HBO on Hulu,
and then HBO on Hulu.
Right.
HBO caffeine free.
Yeah.
Diet HBO.
HBO clear.
Nicotine free HBO. Fat free HBO.
Crystal
HBO. I wasn't a big fan of that one. No, that was weird.
I'm sure it's
that was
not
weird.
going to be. Yeah.
So if this sounds stupid and confusing, it's because it is. The point of having an app should be to have all the content that you have available to you to watch in one place, to make it simple. Now, this is kind of what happened with Disney Plus, where some of their properties were still in licensing agreements with other streaming services like Netflix, but at least Disney Plus had the majority of their content available. DC or HBO Max kind of doesn't. So it's really weird.
Maybe what we should do is appeal to HBO when they watch this, because you know that they do.
Yeah,
you should tell them, look, we don't quite get it right now. So if you could just explain to us why we're supposed to care and want this, if you could do that, that'd be great. There we go.
They could have one of
And
those
just
trees.
give us free subscriptions.
They could have
Well,
one of those.
of a
fuck
thing
it.
we don't even know that we want.
I'll pay for it.
for
No,
free.
I'll
I'll
pay.
take anything for free.
I'll pay for it if you can give me a reason why I should. If you can give me a straight up reason why I should pay for this, I will.
They
Because
will.
As it stands,
Just put it in the comments.
7-day free trial. Not even a 30-day free trial. What the fuck? And I canceled almost immediately. I watched that Anna Kendrick show, which was not good, but
What?
yeah, I mean, not for me. Like it's a decently well made show. It's just not my type of show, but it's fine.
Did it need a bigger budget?
No, it was fine.
Did it feel like it was made in the
here's the thing.
2020s?
Spoilers. It's called Love Life. It's about a girl trying to like date. It's
for somebody who hates love.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no, I don't hate love.
get it.
I don't believe in it. So that is just love is just a chemical reaction that
If it
compels
really
animals to
existed,
breed.
If it really existed,
Yeah.
he'd think it was great.
I'm gonna get hit in the head by the live studio audience. All right.
So you know what they should do? They should make one of those trees. If you have HBO, get yes, and then go this way. If no, then get the app. If you have
Yes.
HBO.
Do you
Which
live
app
in a
did you
cave?
download? Yeah.
Do you have electricity?
Do you have no other thing other than a basic TV with nothing? You get nothing right now. Then this is perfect.
Do you want to waste $14.99 a month?
It's $14.99.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
they've lost their
expensive.
damn minds. You can't.
You
even
just
get
want to brag to
anything.
your friends that you have HBO Max.
Like, I'm doing pretty well in this shitty economy. I got HBO Max
Yeah.
because I like wasting money.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe in a few months it'll be worth checking out again. But I canceled, and I'll check it out when they have actual things that I need to watch on it. So
Yeah, no, that's too much money in this day and age where
These
you are
trying
paying
times.
for one thing at a time.
yeah, so especially when I can get all their content somewhere else. So it's
Yeah.
weird. T. Crowler, you got another story?
Yeah, Evan Peters. So it's reported that Evan Peters has joined the Disney/MCU family and is going to be it's Disney Plus because it's going to be the show WandaVision. He's going to be, and if you don't know who Evan Peters is, he's the Quicksilver from the X-Men movies.
He's also in American Horror Story.
That's what I
recurring.
thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a very good actor.
Isn't he
Yeah.
also a Hitman? I thought
I didn't watch the new one because I don't like to
Hitman
hurt
too.
myself.
Did you say in Hitman or did you say a Hitman? Because that's a big
not
distinction.
Hitman. I'm sorry, Kick-Ass.
So wait a
Yes,
minute.
he was
Is
a
he-
kick-ass.
yes.
Yes.
Is he Quicksilver in this movie?
No,
He's
so,
not.
So okay, let me try to break it down. So
Yeah, here.
All right.
So Evan Peters was in the X-Men. Remember when Fox owned X-Men, and that? So he was in those movies.
Uh-huh.
He is coming over to the MCU. MCU's Quicksilver died. Remember, he was too slow to dodge bullets. Apparently, so he died in Age of
Hey, is
Ultron.
that is it? But so that actor right there is going to
that
be
actor?
Quicksilver.
Yes, he's coming back as Quicksilver in WandaVision.
Also, his
Okay.
name is Aaron Taylor. He was also in Kick-Ass. Just to make this
that's
more
right.
confusing.
Yeah.
Now
there
we
you go.
really need some kind of tree.
So we're gonna have
Make a tree, crawler.
we're gonna have
Tree crawler.
I'm gonna drink some brown water.
all the Quicksilvers, yet only one Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Okay.
because they're
Evan
gonna
Peters
do-
is playing a
Could
different
they be
character.
different speeds of silver?
But I think because
Could one
Different
be
shades.
quick
Silver
and one be really quick?
well, you're gonna have Quicksilver, Gray Silver. They're just gonna change it up.
Quicksilver.
Is
not
the
so
Wizard going to be in
Quicksilver.
this? That's what I want to know. Is the
Wizard.
Wizard going to be
No,
there?
But
unfortunately,
honestly,
Wizard
though,
won't be.
because
in
it does seem like they're going to be doing lots of reality bending, weird multi-universe kind of
Right.
shit. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if they're both two different versions of Quicksilver, or at least if they say something meta about it. You know, that'd
But
be pretty
100% wizard free. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, Wizard free.
cool. The Wizard will not be.
Wizard
in it.
was in
Wizard.
Jessica Jones. Oh, speaking of
You want
Wizard
me to tune in.
from Jessica Jones, I read recently that I think it's only one more month before the MCU has complete rights of Daredevil.
Yes, they're all gonna revert back. But I've also heard a really scary rumor that they might recast everything. And then I've heard multiple rumors saying that they're gonna keep Daredevil and Punisher and maybe Luke Cage, but recast everything else. And
Where are you hearing all these rumors?
They can recast
the internets?
So you're reading
Iron
them.
Fist.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I say them out
I
loud, so
thought
I
they
do
were-
hear them.
Oh, I
technically.
thought
Reads
that
out
there
loud
were like
when he-
people whispering to
Voices
you all
in
the
his head.
time.
Yeah. They say
Just
worse shit than
nonstop.
that. They say crazy shit like, watch Iron Fist again. I'm like, no! I don't want to
That's
self-harm.
crazy. You need
You didn't
to
get this information from We Got This Covered, did you?
No,
That's
no,
fake.
no,
No.
yeah,
No.
they are terrible. Yeah.
Right.
Very clickbaity though. Like,
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
what I
lot.
heard.
There's a lot of stuff from there. I'm like, no,
No,
They
and like,
have
oh,
so many sites spidered out
Right.
from theirs,
Right.
so you have to be
And
like,
that's the problem.
All you
Every
click
time.
suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. Is like
You win.
I don't follow them, but other sites share their
Yeah.
shit. So I'll see a headline and be like, "Yes, we got this covered." Fuck!
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I ain't even clicking on it. I just go,
I'm not gonna
let me
give
get
you
out of
a
here. I
click.
can't scan out of this fast enough.
Yeah, I'm not giving them the click.
No.
I'm just gonna click on our website under a different like
Nope.
I start
sign in.
scrolling, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Scrolling.
All right, so does anybody else got any news?
scrolling.
News? Has anybody got any news?
No, that was
okay. Awesome.
What about down there?
No,
I mean, we did talk before that we started about the Jason Momoa and
the dink, the dink.
yeah.
yeah, Peter
Peter
Dinklage.
Dinklage.
Yeah. I
Tell us
think
about it.
Tell us about it, Hailstorms.
I handed you the article and
Oh,
didn't read it, but it's about
the
vampires.
story. Here's the story, folks. They are in a vampire.
A vampire.
Is it it's a program or movie? Movie?
I think it's a show.
Okay,
I was hoping
anyways.
it would be a show.
Peter Dinklage is the last Van Helsing vampire hunter. Jason Momoa is a Vampire.
It's called Good, Bad, and Undead.
The
And
Good,
it's a
Bad,
movie.
and Undead. It's a movie. Jason Momoa is not cool with killing no more. He's like, I ain't down with that. And so they go from town to town as a team, posing as a vampire that needs to be vanquished. So the townsfolk pay Peter Dinklage to kill the vampire, and on to the next town.
We're gonna see that opening night. I'll wait.
Apparently-
in the line.
Because you're,
we will be
sleeping
seeing
bag.
because
this
you're so
opening
into
night.
vampires?
Yeah, right.
Is that why?
Yeah.
Or is it because...
Or Peter Dinklage? Is
Yeah.
it Peter Dinklage?
You
you're
can't wait
there?
to get that shirtless dink scene? Is that what
No,
want?
you know what? I do love Peter Dinklage. I'm
He's
not
a
gonna
great
lie.
actor.
So
Yeah.
that's what the draw, right?
All right.
Well, it sounds like a buddy film, and
Okay,
I
you love buddy films
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
It's almost like
Okay.
twins,
right.
but with Vampire and
All right.
Van Helsing.
Right.
For you video viewers, I'm gonna do my impersonation of Hailstorms right now. Please, Momoa, have your shirt off. Please don't have your shirt on, Momoa.
Live studio audience.
Live studio audience
Right.
is cheering over there.
Yep, because we're no dummies.
Yeah. No, fuck it. Like, do it. I support this. Hey, I'll watch the movie too. It sounds funny. And if he takes his shirt off, that's great. You get a little something. I'll feel bad about myself as a man, and it'll all work out for everybody.
I'll feel just fine.
You're a lot more secure than I am. It's okay. But yeah, no, that actually, the premise of that sounds fucking hilarious. The Dink is a great actor. He can play comedy like really, really well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Momoa, he has comedic moments that he could play very well.
I think he can do it if he. I mean, the Super Bowl halftime
Oh my God, that
commercials with
commercial
him
was
were
so-
so
That was
funny.
hilarious.
So I think if it has good writers, I think.
Yeah, that could be really good.
Have we heard from friends of the show, Jason and the Dink, lately, though?
No, they haven't. They haven't been
I,
talking.
mean, we
don't
call him
know
the
if he
Dink.
wants to be called the
And that's
Dink.
what we've been calling. You're not in.
It's like calling him an elf from the South Pole. You know,
Yeah,
you
it's
don't,
not
you
cool.
don't call
It doesn't seem cool at
Say
all.
Dink one more time. I'll come across that table.
Right.
See, I got the
Right.
impression he was cool being called the Dink.
Pete. All right, Pete.
Did you ask
Pete,
him?
apparently she
I
doesn't
did,
think we should call
but
you
as
the Dink.
always, he didn't respond. So I was like, "Hey, don't respond if you're cool with me saying this." Nothing.
And there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna opt to
right.
not call him that.
That's probably the best.
All right, Pete.
Best case
Sorry.
scenario. All right. Also, still waiting to hear back from a friend of the show, Kevin Sorbo, because what are you doing right now? Just come on the show.
We gotta stop insulting people when we're trying to get them to contact us.
Right.
I'm not insulting him. I would lose my shit if,
You
if
said-
Hercules came on the
What
show.
are you doing right now?
He's not making a fucking vampire movie with Jason Momoa. That's what he's not doing.
You're saying things that might be hurtful to Kevin Sorbo.
I will watch Hercules and the Journey to the Underworld with him, and it would be the greatest moment of my life.
Who would you rather have, Kevin Sorbo or Nathan Fillion?
Nathan Fillion. Fuck out of here.
Wow, that
Sorry,
was
Kevin.
quick.
Sorry.
You're never gonna get that
Never
call
gonna
from
get
Kevin
it.
Sorbo.
All right, let's talk about the news, huh? Or not the news. What are we doing? The
We're doing
top
the
five
top
countdown.
five.
Top five.
Top five. Top five.
All right, so playing off of our last episode, we did the top 5 greatest series finales of all time. Now we're going to follow that up with the worst. But out of sheer curiosity, since T. Crawler wasn't here, what is, just off the top of your head, some of the best series finales of all time?
My best series finale is The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The, let's see.
That's also on HBO Max, just for that. In case anyone was wondering if you want to rewatch that. That's
But is
totally
it
on there.
anywhere else? Is it anywhere
I don't
else?
think so, except for in my heart.
Well, then maybe there's a reason.
That's a good
$14.99.
show. Is it not? It's probably a bad show, huh?
I don't.
what?
You never watched it?
I mean, I've seen of
Fresh-
it, but I
The
never
Fresh
watched
Prince
it.
of Bel-Air. You never
Hell
watched
yeah.
it?
There was a large period of
Phil?
my life
Yeah.
when
Uncle
I didn't
Phil?
have TV.
Yeah.
Do you even know what it's about?
Yeah.
So one day in West Philadelphia, born and raised, he
Yeah.
was on a playground, spending
Worked
most of his
most
days.
of his days.
He was hanging out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, just shooting some b-ball outside of the cool.
Then a couple
outside
of guys.
Were they up to no good?
Yeah, starting making trouble in his neighborhood.
He got in one little fight,
and his aunt
And
got
Mom
scared.
and he's like, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." Dun, 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 dun. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Anything else?
Hey, Holmes, smell you later. I forgot that part.
Let's see.
How do I remember that? Damn.
You know what? We've missed you.
Yeah.
Oh god, I miss you guys too. This is so much fun. Like,
Stuff has not gone this off the wall for a long time.
Yeah, I know we're a lot more on the rails and tight with what we're doing, and
Yeah.
with T. Crowley here, it's fine though. It's fine. It's good times. I'm laughing a lot.
people need to laugh right now. So
It's very true.
There we go.
let's see. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I was a fan of Friends. I liked that season finale. Breaking Bad. I agreed with what you guys said. Like, you know, it didn't completely put it all in a
Neat little bow.
But it was, you know, what you needed for a finale. I had another one. I can't think of it. But those three right
Nice.
there were some of
So
the ones I was
pretty
thinking
much
about.
consensus with us.
Right.
All right. So let's start with our number 5 worst finales of all time. Hailstorms. You want to start, or do you want to start, Chick-fil-A? How do you want to do it?
We can let the newcomer start.
Hey, rookie. You want to throw it out?
Yeah.
New guy. All right. My number 5 would be Heroes. Heroes, when it came out, I love this show because it was a TV show about superpowered people, good and evil, and of course it was reminiscent to a lot of the, you know, comic books and stuff that were out there already. They were trying to keep their powers secret. There were people that were against people with superpowers, stuff like that. I mean, it was a great show. The motto, like, save the cheerleader, save the world, blah, blah. But when you get to the last season, it was, I believe it was after the writer's strike. It was season 4. And they were in a carnival, and it was like a lot of the season dealt with this carnival, which was just that the season itself was just kind of, it dropped off a cliff completely. And I remember the last episode was just, it was just horrible. Like, it didn't close off anything. It just kind of like, I mean, Claire the cheerleader, who was like basically indestructible. She would like try periodically, like she was taking videos of her falling, and she healed. She's a self-healer, right? She heals. So at the end, like, a bunch of crap was going on. Media was there. They wanted to know what's going on. And her dad, who was part of an organization that was trying to stop these heroes, he was like, don't do it. And, you know, he didn't want her to show the world what's out there. And she's like, you know what? No, I'll show you. All cameras on me. So she climbs up this Ferris wheel and just drops down. And, like, all the cameras run over and they film her, like, getting right back up from a fall that would have killed somebody. And so she's talking to the camera, and then somebody asks her father, like, what's she doing? He's like, disappointing me or whatever. Like, he wasn't proud of that moment. He didn't want her to do that. And so, like, and then as she's talking to the camera, you see the gash in her face healing as she's talking to the camera. Like, it just wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't a good ending. It just, like I said, the whole season was kind of like crap. So that's why that was my number 5, because I like the show. And I have a couple on my list like that. I really like the show, but that last episode of the series was just like nothing.
Nice.
So
I agree in that never have I ever seen a show fall off a cliff so fast
Right.
in terms of quality.
I know.
Because the first season was very good.
Right.
And the 2 was okay. 3 was actually pretty good also.
Right. And then,
But then 4, just holy shit, that show got terrible. Like, really, really, really bad. And it also, like, they did a lot of really dumb things. I mean, so first of all, even when the show was at its best, it was a total X-Men ripoff. Like, they were taking storylines straight out of the comic books to the point where I looked at my friend at the time. I was like, hey, this is great, but if they have, like, giant robots start hunting them and they call them Bentinels, I'm fucking out.
Bentinels.
Like, this is so stupid. But yeah, that would probably be an honorable mention for me. But good pick. All right, my number 5. I debated on putting this one on there because I didn't actually hate this finale. I didn't hate this final season the way everybody does, but it has to be mentioned. Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones is still, I will hold, probably my favorite show of all time. It was fucking amazing. It was brilliant through the first 6 seasons. Even season 7 was still very, very good, and season 8 had moments. But I think why this pissed so many people off is it didn't give you any kind of sense of closure on so many radically important storylines. Right. And, like, I could get on board with characters' endings being different from what I would do, or trying to do things that go against the grain and against what popular consensus would be for that character. But they left so many unanswered questions to gigantic storylines that have been going on for 8 fucking years. And you're just like, oh, that's it? Like, no closure on this at all. Talking specifically about the White Walkers and the night and all that kind of stuff. Right. And you get, like, really nothing, like, no explanation to any of that, no sense of fulfillment. And again, like, as we talked about in our review, which you guys could check out, the whole, you know, they felt really, really rushed, and how it destroys Daenerys' character arc and out of seemingly nowhere. Even though you get what they're trying to do, it just felt way too rushed. They waste the entire character arc of Jaime Lannister and various other things that I could talk about for a long time. But again, I didn't hate this. I was okay with it, but just for how good the show was, specifically, at its prime, it was so fucking good that it ended kind of whimpered away to me. Right. Like, it wasn't terrible, but it was just kind of like, okay, that's fine. So yeah, Game of Thrones is my number 5.
All right, mine are in no particular order. They're all over the place. It's just
Cop out.
wackadoo.
That's cheap.
Total cop out.
That's so cheap.
Yeah.
Cop
I don't know what to say. Mine are going to be short and sweet this time.
You say that every
I
time.
know. I'm serious this time. So the one I'm going to talk about now is 2.5 Men, which was a show that started out. I kind of watched it a little bit when it first came out for a while. Charlie Sheen, the crazy man with tiger blood and everything, went off the rails,
Winning.
and had to
In his real
leave
life.
the show. I mean, went nuts.
But hang on, I feel like we throw the term out. He went crazy a little too easily. He went fucking crazy.
He went
He went
crazy.
real
Like bad
crazy.
He went
shit?
just as crazy as people go crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they replaced him with Ashton Kutcher. Is that his name?
Yep.
Kutcher. And so he was in for a while, a few years, 4 years or something, maybe like that. And then they hint for the finale, Charlie Sheen's going to be coming back. So the finale comes up, and everybody's like, oh, they think he's coming back and everything. So like some person that from behind looks like Charlie Sheen walks up to the door like he's getting ready to come in, and then they drop a piano on him.
Wait, like a piano?
They literally drop a piano on him.
Was it followed by a fucking anvil? What is this, Looney Tunes?
No, they dropped a piano on him, and then they pan out of the scene, and they show one of the, I don't know if he was one of the co-creators or whatever that was sitting there, and he just turns around and says, winning, and then because he had the problem with Charlie Sheen, and so that was one of the things.
Sounds like dig.
And
towards-
then
yeah.
they dropped a piano on him,
Huh.
and that's how it ends, like that.
I never watched the show, but I did hear that it went downhill when Kelso
Yeah.
showed up. So
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: Charlie
Elsa.
Sheen was good in the show. He was. I mean, it was
Because he's
just a
basically
sitcom.
playing himself.
Yeah, he was basically playing himself, and he's not a bad actor. He's not a guy who's uninteresting and everything. And he made the show good. And it's not even that Ashton Kutcher wasn't very good either. He's good in a lot of things too. For whatever reason, it's weird when somebody gets removed or replaced in a show, and then there's kind of the chemistry and stuff seems just a little off.
this happened in that 70s show also when Eric left. Topher Grayson.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
so it was, it was whatever it was, and then it ran its course. But the finale was just weird, and nobody knows what the hell that was all supposed to mean.
I think it's always weird when they
couple
replace
pianos getting dropped.
like a main character and they replace it with somebody else that's supposed to play the same character. So Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, going back to that, when they Aunt Vivian, they had a cast change there. But that was almost like smooth. Like for some reason, like everybody seemed to forget that.
But she was playing the same character in this show. Charlie Sheen and Ashton Kutcher weren't playing the same character,
No.
were they? No.
So it changes the whole dynamic.
Yeah,
of
and
the
then you're
show.
supposed to
He
believe
was
that all the
like maybe
characters
somebody
have
else
this.
that was related to him or
Yeah.
some type of weird thing.
It makes no sense to me. But nice. Okay. Hailstorms.
So mine was Roseanne.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So the first version of that show, they brought it back, but I don't think it was called the same thing.
No, it was called. It was called. No. It was called Roseanne.
Oh, was it?
And then it went for a season, and then she
Then
says
she went
some
crazy.
political stuff,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then they killed her, and then the Connors is what's airing now.
Yeah, that's right. So what I'm talking about though is the original show with John Goodman and Sarah Gilbert and all the rest, which was a great show for its time. The problem was that Roseanne Barr, Arnold, Rosanna Dana, whatever.
Rosanna Dana Bobana.
Right. Her personal life started overshadowing everything.
Yeah.
When the show started, she was a comedian, and she was a stand-up comedian. She was married to this guy that she'd been married to for years and years and years. And then just basically her personal life started going off the rails. She ended up with Tom Arnold. They ended up taking the show hostage for
Yeah, he was on that
years.
show way too much.
He was a writer on the show.
And apparently he would piss
And
off
then-
John Goodman because he's like very professional and like
Yeah.
took shit seriously.
Yeah, it basically the show started unraveling because her personal life started unraveling. She and Tom Arnold had this crazy, like, insane relationship that played out in front of the camera, behind the camera, everything. But the season finale, what they did is
They replaced Becky. Don't forget they replaced Becky.
yeah,
Oh,
that was
that's
in the
right.
beginning.
Yeah,
Am I the
that.
only one who likes second Becky better? Like, I liked her
didn't-
better.
I wasn't a fan of either Becky,
Yeah.
but in later things,
long as they don't
second
replace
Becky had a
Darlene.
better career.
Long term, yeah.
Yeah. So what they did is that at one point in the show, Dan has a heart attack. and I can't remember the order. They win the lottery. I think they win the lottery.
He has the heart
first.
attack the previous season, and then they win the lottery the final season.
That's right. But then the finale is that Dan died when he had the heart attack, and everything else is just the story she wrote. And I think a lot of people hate when they do that whole, oh yeah, no, none of that really happened, because it tells the viewer that anything they invested in caring about the characters was bullshit. And I think people just always feel like that's a cheap way out. And especially that show, because we had invested so much in those characters for so many years. So yeah, that was my number 5.
Nice. Good
All right, good job.
Tiquela.
All right, my number 4. Honestly, it was going to be Game of Thrones, but I figured a lot of us would have that on our list somewhere, and you pretty much explained everything that I pretty much was going to say. So I had some standby. So How I Met Your Mother was my number 4. So How I Met Your Mother.
You haven't even met my mother.
How dare you?
I say good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
I said good day.
Anyway, that was the series finale for that one was just another one that fell off because you have the main character Ted, who's like explaining to his son and daughter how it's this whole story about how he met their mother. So you get to the point where you're waiting and waiting for them to show the mother, and like there's a lot of scenes where it's this woman with a yellow umbrella, and and then they show who it is, and then you find out that she dies and she's been dead for a while, because the kids are like, well, Dad, she's been dead for a while, and then at the end he ends up being with Robin, who's another character in there who was part of the group of friends. Like he was with her before, they broke up, they just stayed friends, blah blah, and then she ended up with one of the other friends, Barney, who was played by Neil Patrick Harris, which I freaking love that character. But he ended up with her anyway. So at the end, it was like kind of like, okay, this is stupid. Like we waited this whole time. You should have ended it last season, because this is retarded now. Because like she was, it was Robin the whole time, and he's holding up this freaking blue French. Like his kids are telling him, just call her. Like what I'm supposed to do, just call her and ask her for a date, because her and Barney had divorced or whatever. So it's like, it just, again, lackluster. Like you invest time in these characters, and that's a lot of these series I think we're going to come across. Like you invest this time in these characters, and then when they have these series finales that are just like, really, like they didn't really put effort into it. It's like they kind of like, well, it's ending anyway, so we're just throw this together.
Well, I think the problem with the old way that shows were made is that they just had an idea for a show and then kept it going until it was gonna end.
Like maybe that idea would make it a season or two.
That idea would be a great idea if it had been planned out from the beginning, and it had we're gonna do a 4-season run, and this is the arc, and here's the way we're gonna do it.
Not everybody's Josh Whedon or Vince Gilligan to where they have a plan of 5 seasons and like this is what we're gonna do.
But I mean, in this day and age, that's how we should be making shows.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because people are not watching them month or week after week and investing all that time and emotional energy. Yeah. When then it peters out at the end with some bullshit that they made up last minute because they found out they were going to be canceled. So.
Yep.
So How I Met Your Mother is my number 4.
Good pick. My number 4, Roseanne.
Oh, what?
Yeah, real talk. I'll show you this. I'm not even joking. It's actually on
I'm
there.
shocked.
You believe me? Want to see proof? Look, number 4, Roseanne.
Holy cow.
I love Roseanne. I grew up watching Roseanne. It was a great show. But the reason is, the original run, I actually didn't hate the finale. I thought it was quite clever. I liked how they win the lottery and things great. And at the end, the swerve where she's writing the letter, which, by the way, that was a very heartfelt letter when she's the monologue of it.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
I watched it again today and teared up.
And you're talking about, like, Dan died. And you're like, what? And then everything was just her dealing with the grief and all. And then it ends. And I was like, you know what? Fuck. That was a swerve, but that was a good ending. It is completely undercut by the revival, which I was on board for the revival. I watched, I think, half of the first season, and it was good. It was interesting. Everybody still had their chemistry and all that. But all of a sudden, Dan's fucking there, and it was like a throwaway line when they're in the garage. He's like, "Hey, remember that time?"
Dan is doing what?
Yeah. He's like, "Remember that time you killed me in the story that you wrote?" She's like, "Lol," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's fine."
Yeah.
And so I was fine with the show. I loved the show. I was fine with the revival, but just. I feel like that was really interesting, and I get it. That's like kind of has a lot of people on the fence whether or not you like it or not.
Right.
I liked it, but I think it's just completely undercut with the revival. And so, like, if you're gonna negate the cleverness of your ending 100% and have it not even make any fucking sense now, then I think it kind of sucks. So I think it ruined the way the original run ended for me personally. That's why it's my number 4.
I think it's interesting that we mentioned last time that it's such a fine line between whether people love or hate a series finale, and I think it's because of your investment in the characters, and yes, I didn't hate the end, except for that I was so emotionally invested in Dan that when she was just like, oh yeah, Dan died a year and a half ago, and I was like, you bitch. That's not fair. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good, folks. My next one, speaking of shows that you hate when nothing ever was real or was true or even happened.
She's going to get mad.
Yeah.
Go do it.
I'm afraid.
Well, this is St. Elsewhere.
Oh, that's not what she was thinking.
Okay.
So St. Elsewhere is a hospital program, drama, whatever, that goes on for a long time. And in the finale, it pans out to where there's an autistic child who's looking at a snow globe, and inside the snow globe is the hospital that's St. Elsewhere. And this entire series was
bullshit
in his mind, the mind of an autistic child looking at a snow globe, which also, since it also had some crossovers to many other programs in NBC, was all of NBC's lineup also made up in the mind of an autistic
What were some of
child.
the crossovers?
There's like 2 or 3 other programs I can't remember that crossed over where they had characters.
I
go
don't
to
think
other
I
ones.
knew that.
There were some crossovers.
Wow.
Anyways, that goes to say what in the world was going on at NBC.
Yeah. That's
That's
another
it.
thing where they had a good show and they kept it going without like an end in mind. And I'm so glad that we've started changing how we do that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I wonder if my number 4 may be what our live studio audience was thinking about. I'm not sure.
What is it?
Lost.
That's exactly what she was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. At first I thought he was going to say that
Is
too.
this when you leave to go plug your ears?
No, she's finished
No.
this one.
Okay,
No.
all right,
I
okay.
watched it when I heard.
That'll be my number 2.
So I have to admit that Lost, I was there. I watched every single episode. I binge watched it, so there's no reason why I now can't remember anything about what the hell was supposed to be going on. And so even getting ready for today, I knew Lost was going to be on my list, and so I was like, oh, I'll rewatch the finale so that I can intelligently talk about why I hate it. And I rewatched the finale, and I'm like, I don't remember what any of this means.
And were you, wait for it, lost?
Yes, because it's so
see what you did
flipping confusing, and they did so many things. Because talk about a show that didn't know what it was gonna do. Because I love J.J. Abrams. I think he does
too.
some
One of my
amazing
favorite
things.
directors.
But he started that and didn't know what he was going to do with it, and it shows so much. We have a hand raised over
Our live
there.
studio audience. I didn't know this was a participation thing, but sure.
No.
The problem
Town hall.
too was that he then left the show to film the Star Trek movies. So then they had other producers come in and weigh in on where the show was going to go, and it screwed up everything.
I still don't even think he had a plan, though.
I don't think he did.
Because if there was a framework,
development of
right.
characters, it didn't even.
Yeah.
As a fan of the Star Trek movies, I feel like he made the right call.
Yeah.
I like the Star Trek
Yeah.
movies because of J.J. Abrams. But yes, I completely agree with you. It
Yeah.
was bonkers.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you watched it and you watched it and you watched it and you were like, where's this going? I can't wait to find out where it's going. And neither could they.
I'm glad I never took time to watch that.
Yeah, don't, because
It's
you
a little bit
do get
more
sucked
serious.
in, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's bad. So
Nice.
it's my number 4.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, number 3, T. Carla.
All right. My number 3 is Dexter. Yeah, Dexter. Again, a show that I loved. I love the premise of this show. I mean, a guy that works within the Miami PD as a forensics blood splatter specialist, and it's a serial killer that kills other serial killers. So it's like one of those shows where you root for the bad guy. Like, why am I rooting for this killer? But you understand why he's doing what he does, and then you later on find out why he's doing what he does. It's this thing that his adoptive father instilled in him to do. So in the season finale,
Was it the Dark Traveler? Is that who it was?
Yeah,
It
the
was
Dark Traveler.
Passenger.
That's right.
Passenger.
Passenger Traveler.
Yeah.
Passenger,
I think
Stark
it's
Passenger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's something.
But you
dark.
know the last
Stark Passenger.
the last episode really there was, I don't know, he's trying to get out of this whole thing. His sister ends up finding about who he is and what he does, and she makes some mistakes, or she does some things to kind of help keep his cover for a while. But anyway, the last episode, this series finale, it irritated the hell out of me because in this finale he has a son and he has his girlfriend Hannah, that there's a U.S. Marshal and a private detective or private eye looking into her because she's a killer, so it's like they're on her trail and he's trying to help her get away, and then he's trying to get away, he's trying to get out of this whole life. But of course things mess up, so he doesn't stick to what he usually does, and he gets this serial killer in this season. But he leaves it for his sister to make the arrest or whatever, and that goes wrong. She gets shot, she's in the hospital, and of course he finds out, he's on his way trying to leave, and then he has to go back to the hospital, because it's his sister and he wants to make sure she's okay. And then all this crap happens where it's like just the ending basically is when he takes his sister and she's like in a vegetative state, right, and it stops the machine, so the whole hospital is in chaos because there's a hurricane coming, so they're moving patients to save energy is what they said, and the power grid, whatever. So my thing is like, okay, so nobody saw him wheel his sister out away from everybody's moving one way, he's moving the opposite way, and to the only single boat that's docked next to the fucking hospital, and nobody questions him at all, and he freaking gets in the boat and freaking goes off. It's like, okay, whatever. So, and then he goes and he puts her in the water, right? So then after that, he says he doesn't want to hurt anybody else he loves because everybody he loves gets hurt. So he starts going into the storm. And I was like, okay, I can see that. That's fine. But that it's not done. Now he's some fucking logger in some state somewhere, like with a full beard, and it's like,
What state do you think he's logging?
I don't know. There's people that say Oregon, but
Okay.
I think Alaska.
was it Alaska? Because
I thought it was Alaska, but I can't remember.
Well, I rewatched it, and because I wanted at that particular part, I was like, what state is it? But there's nothing that shows what state. It's just a bunch of logging trucks and there's a logger, and it's like, I thought there would be a sign or a map or something.
I thought there was.
I thought there was too. And I don't know if it's changed on Netflix or whatever.
He's got a beard.
He does have a beard, and then it just ends. He looks at the fucking camera, and it ends like,
He's a mighty fine lumberjack.
wow. And then his son is with his girlfriend, and what other country they were, Argentina or wherever they're going. So it's just, that again, lackluster. Like this whole time, you love this show, you watch all these episodes and you think it's going to have an awesome finale, and he could have done anything else. I mean, it could have went any other way, and nothing. It's like, wow, it just petered out, and it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Okay.
Good pick. All right, my number, what are we at, 3?
3.
How I Met Your Mother. Okay, so I really like
What
that
was that?
show. How I Met Your Mother?
Oh, I thought you'd...
How
How I Met Your Mode.
Yeah, How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother. I really like that show for the first 3 seasons or so. Okay, the last 3 seasons of this show are fucking garbage. It is terrible. It is really hard to watch. It's really hard to get through. Specifically, the entire last season, dog shit. It is really, 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 really bad, cringy writing. But the entire premise of the final season is Barney and Robin are getting married, which is cool. Barney's my favorite character. I was rooting for him to end up with Robin, and I love the fact that I love them as a couple because I feel like they complement each other really well. They ground each other really well. They both have that I don't want to be in a relationship, I want to do my own thing, but they come together. It worked from a narrative standpoint. Their relationship worked, and the entire fucking show, we're waiting to meet the mother. We're waiting to Ted to meet this chick, right. Every episode of the final season takes place in one single day, and it is Robin and Barney's wedding and all the shenanigans and all the adversity and everything they have to do to end up together. The whole fucking season is their wedding day. 15 minutes into the finale, they're divorced. Cool. I wasn't invested in this relationship at all. Fuck me, right? And my feelings.
Wait, you mean they were divorced the same day they got married?
No, no. The stupid finale fast forwards 20 fucking years. So we do time jumps.
That's a roller coaster.
15 real life minutes into the show, into this episode, they're divorced. It's like years down the road. They get divorced. Barney, fuck his character development. He's still just out being Barney. Sure. Robin isolates herself from the group and is focused on their career. So they literally revert back to the people they were in episode 1 of season 1. It's like, cool, don't, whatever, fuck me. The mother dies. Sure, whatever. And then all of a sudden you find out like, oh no, Dad, you're in love with Aunt Robin. Go fucking blue French horn the shit out of her. And like, so he just goes and gets with Robin. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You destroy
don't even know what that
all of this character building.
It's kind of like a rusty trombone.
I want to point out, for the first time in my life, I didn't mean it in a dirty way. It just sounded that way. But it's stupid. It was fucking
Go get blue
stupid.
French horn.
It was stupid. It was so fucking stupid. And it would have been, I wouldn't be so angry if like the final season was really good and just kind of disappointing. But I dealt with your fucking nonsense for 22 episodes, and this is how you repaid me. Fuck you.
Wow. Thank you.
Wow. Woo!
I'm glad time has softened your.
I was gonna rewatch it, but I didn't want to give them the click. I didn't want to give them the click.
This dude's angry.
I forgot that whole
giving you the click.
Like every episode.
Motherfucker.
Holy crap.
All right.
All right.
Are you going to talk into this?
Yeah, I'm going to talk into this. My next one was going to be Roseanne, but geez, it's already been done by 2 people. So I put a runner-up in there. And was that Star Trek Enterprise? That was a show, right?
Yeah.
So that I didn't really watch much of the show. I'll be honest.
Just talk about Roseanne.
I'm just talking about the end. I'm just talking about the end of it.
You don't even know the title, and you hardly watched it.
Do you know how it ended?
You know what? Let somebody cross off 3
Here's
people
the
with
deal.
the same opinion
Listen to me.
on their
Listen
TWG
to me.
bingo card.
Listen to me. Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Linda.
The way it ends, so you have a whole series of a Star Trek show program,
That you don't know if it's real.
which
Enterprise,
ends.
was that a thing?
I didn't watch much of it.
Well, it ends with Riker and the other whoever the lady that was like the psychologist or whatever. What was her name from the New Generation? Troy. Troy and Riker are on the holodeck, and this entire series was a hologram in the holodeck for Star Trek New Generation.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Next Generation.
That's another one of those
Next
things
Generation.
about it.
That's not
Never,
Enterprise.
Next Generation. That's one of those ones that never happened. So at the end, it's like, yeah, this didn't even happen. It's just holodeck stuff.
Nice. Okay, so your number 3 was Roseanne. All right.
Mark that on your bingo card.
Everything you just
All
said
right, keep on
was
going.
a holodeck.
Yeah,
Happened on a holodeck.
Yeah,
Keep going,
yeah.
keep going.
Your mom. Okay, let's go.
My number 3 that I refused to change was Dexter.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Keep talking. Just keep talking.
I'm gonna
Don't
beat
let
him
him
over
get
the
to
head
you.
with his
I'm there with you.
microphone. So, throughout the seasons of Dexter, there was some suspension of disbelief, like how he always got like right out of the things at the
Yeah,
right time.
that's true, yeah.
Considering that he was responsible for like 25% of the murders in Miami. I mean, he was
And
a busy fella.
How many serial killers are in Miami?
All of them,
A lot
apparently.
of like all.
A lot less when he's there.
But it seems like there's a lot.
Yeah, he can't throw a shoe without hitting a serial killer. So, the finale, I agree, totally sucked because for all rights and purposes, he should have fucking died on that finale, and that would have been poetic.
I need to throw it out there. The writers wanted to, but Showtime said no.
Showtime sucks.
really?
Yeah, they actually said no. You
would've been
can't.
perfect.
He should have died.
The plan was he was going to die in the hurricane.
So one of the common themes throughout that whole thing is that he could not live without Deb. And
Yeah.
she died, and he should have.
He should have
That
died,
should have
yeah.
No,
been.
well, I get it,
his-
but see, the thing you're missing is like, so Deb dies, and he's like, "Where's my axe? I'm gonna go chop some wood."
Yeah. Oh, I guess I missed that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That makes total sense.
Yeah, because they did a lot of like foreshadowing with like his fondness of axes.
And plaid shirts.
Yeah.
There were
Okay.
no plaid shirts.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
If you can't tell by my face, audio listeners, I'm being a smartass
trucks.
right now. Yeah.
Like
there's
truck?
also the small fact of the fact that he abandoned his son to have him go live with a different serial killer.
Right?
As though that makes it okay. No, you're cool with that serial killer because she's a female, so she'll be better with you.
Hellstorm.
I need to win. I
gotta
wield
defend the
an
show for a minute.
axe.
Hellstorm. What you're failing to remember Why he did that is reasons.
It's always because of
It's always reasons.
Always reasons.
Yeah, well, the reasons suck.
You know what? It's never not reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Okay.
always reasons.
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
Okay.
You guys sure set me straight.
All right. Number 2, T. Crowley.
All right, my number 2 is True Blood.
Hey, leave the room, live studio. Hey,
Oh, she's running for it.
stay there because it's my number 2 also.
She ran like
We're gonna,
I don't know what.
We're gonna do something a little different. Lonnie and I are, or T. Crowler. Ooh, sorry. We're gonna do this together since it's both of our. We want to do it?
Yeah.
All right. Where do you hate it? Because it sucks.
Reasons. No,
Reasons.
no, it did suck.
Sucker.
The last season was just
Sucker.
I was like, what the hell are they doing in this season? It just didn't make any sense. I can go into the season, but I'm going to the series finale. The part that really pissed me off was how it ended. Like, she didn't end up with Bill, right? He had
gets
her
killed.
kill him, right? So
Spoilers.
He kills him.
Right? She kills. She doesn't end up with Eric. Like
Nope.
she ends up with some guy who we don't.
They
know.
never show his
We don't
face.
know who
Face
he
is
is.
good.
knocked up.
She's
Yeah.
knocked up,
pregnant.
right? What else did I freaking had notes because I'm like, oh, freaking pissing me off this show. Like let's really focus on like Jessica and Hoyt's marriage. Who really cares about that
Fuck
relationship, right? Let's see.
I like Hoyt though.
I like Hoyt, but
Hoyt was
Jessica
cool.
should have ended up with Jason.
Yeah, that's right. You should have.
Can I tag in for a sec?
But yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
please.
so I love this show, and I feel like
I
all
do
the way
too.
up until the final season, it was still solid for
was
me.
very solid,
The
yes.
last season dropped off a fucking cliff. So okay, Eric
as bad as your
Northman
hero.
is the second best vampire in all of television, next to Spike. Lafayette is one of my favorite characers in anything.
Right,
He's
Lafayette was
fucking
awesome.
amazing, and the writing, everything was so good. But yeah, none of how this ended made any fucking sense. Like the whole virus thing was dumb. Like Eric
Yeah.
and freaking Pam just go off being like super rich people because like they're marketing the cure to this. Fine, whatever. The biggest narrative here though is that Suki, like who is she gonna end up with? That was the whole thing. She kills Bill because Bill wants to die. Sure, she doesn't end up with Eric for reasons. And all of a sudden, like you want to see who she's with, and she's just with a random faceless dude, and she's knocked up. So that tells us that it doesn't matter who the person is.
He
It doesn't matter.
had a face. We just never
just
saw
didn't
it.
see it. Yeah.
It's
He
not like
hugs them.
he's a faceless person.
But it doesn't matter if you were, because the story that they're telling is that it's just a guy to her. It doesn't fucking
Right.
matter.
I think he had a beard.
Yeah,
But
he did have a beard. 'cause you
But
can see
and
that.
also, so Jessica like glamours Hoyt so he could fuck off to Alaska with Dexter, I presume, to do some logging. And fucking.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but then it paves the way for him and fucking Jason to get together and him to stop being a playboy and all that kind of stuff and like actually have a good relationship. But then Hoyt just shows back up and then she just tells him everything, so it undercuts all of that.
Right.
And so it did the same thing, not to as bad a degree as How I Met Your Mother, where they build all these storylines and at the end they're just like, nah, fuck you.
Right.
And they seem to be subverting expectations just to subvert expectations, not because it worked from a narrative standpoint, which infuriates me.
Yeah.
So
It-
it was just
HBO, damn it.
yeah.
HBO on their
Oh,
finales.
HBO.
Are you good? You anything else?
Yeah, you said everything else I needed. Yeah, it's.
Why did you hijack?
I wanted to
program?
tag team it because it's my number 2 also.
Okay.
I thought it'd be effective for time, so that way you could have more time to talk.
You people.
You can come back.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, you people? All right, number two.
So my number 2 is a program called A Lumberjack Story.
Dexter.
AKA Dexter.
We could have tag teamed it.
Yeah. Is that yours too? Right now?
Where have you been?
It
It was my number 3.
I know, but that was
That's not the same number. That's not the same number. There's a way we did it. This isn't Kangaroo
If it
Court.
was your number 2, we could tag team it. All right.
No, you know what? It's also my number 2. Let's tag team
Your
it.
number T.
Oh
Number
bother.
Number 2.
T's a letter.
2.
Spoilers. Let Weapon 2 talk.
Number 2.
So everybody said everything they feel about this. My only
I haven't
thing
yet.
is the way I would like for it to end is I think that he should have been caught and faced repercussions as a serial killer and been exposed and faced all of it the way we would hope that a serial killer would, being caught, going to
So
prison.
you wanted like a court
disgraced.
trial or something?
I wanted him to at least be caught and exposed as a finale.
I agree.
wanted him
That's it.
dead.
I think that should have been another good ending. Because
I wanted him to drive into the hurricane and die.
Well, no, because then everybody that he
we got
worked
different
around
opinion.
would have realized that this whole time we've been around a serial killer and didn't even realize that he's been working with this. This guy's been killing people and working
Yeah,
with
think about just the shock in everybody to find out that they've been working with a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
That's not the ending I would have wanted, but it's better than the one we would have got. So I'll give you
Fair
that.
enough.
I'll give you that.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Good stuff.
All right.
Hailstorms?
Okay, I fudged a little bit on my next one. My number 2 wasn't meant as a season finale. It was meant to be a major cliffhanger and then became the season finale, and it sucked. Alf.
Oh.
Aw.
Oh, Alf.
Does anybody remember the season
remember the
finale of
season
Alf?
I remember Alf.
the
I don't
show,
remember how
but
it
not the
ended.
season. Yeah.
So there was throughout the seasons of Alf, there was this organization that was trying to find him, and they always said that they wanted to experiment on him, and basically they would list the things that they wanted to do, which was basically torture him because they wanted to figure out, and it was like a quasi-militaristic. I can't remember what it was called, like alien liberation something or whatever they were called. In the end, they intercept a message
Was
from
it
his
spelled Alf? Alien Liberation Front?
Oh, it probably
is that for real?
wasn't.
Is that a real
That's
thing?
a different thing.
Okay.
That's
Oh.
a different thing.
All right. Excited.
Yeah, I
That's
can't remember what it was
Alienation.
called.
I think you're talking.
I think I'm talking about
watched
something totally
that.
different, but
What's that?
I watched that.
That was good. Yeah.
so anyway, they intercepted a message from his people saying that they had found a new planet and they were going to come and get him. And so the whole episode, he's saying goodbye to the family, and then the alien terrorist people, whatever their fucking name
got him?
was, get him.
You didn't get back to Melmac.
And so you're basically led to believe he's about to be tortured.
What?
Yes, and then that's it.
Okay.
It was supposed to be a cliffhanger that
Fucking
they
depressing.
probably were going to redeem the next season, but a next season never happened. So as a series finale goes, how depressing is that?
What? Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought the room down like Weapon 2 always
go.
does.
Yeah.
but-
There you go.
yeah.
There you go.
I really thought about just saying it was True Blood, but
right. Oh, right.
Just so she could run away again.
run
away. Run away.
How I Met Your Mom.
For those of
It
you
was
wondering,
True Blood,
our
that's all.
our live studio audience is friend of the show Alias, and she's currently watching True Blood, and so she had to run out of here very quickly when we started talking about it.
Yeah, you didn't yell spoilers like you always do 10 years after a show aired.
You used my earplugs?
Just because there's nowhere I can run.
Well, now they're your earplugs, aren't they?
I fucked this up.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, what's the language?
God. All right, T. Crawler, number 1.
You
Okay.
just said fuck right into the
So for my number 1,
Shut your fucking mouth. Never gonna get monetized. Sorry.
we're saying
I fucking
bad
talk
words.
Yes.
Just bad words.
And is this for children? Fuck no. All right, go ahead.
the fuck it is. Fuckity fuck. Okay, anyway.
How would you like to go to the principal's office?
How would you like to suck my balls? Anyway.
I miss you. You get all the dumb references.
All right, so my number 1. Oh, this one, it just... It really got to me because I really like this show. So it took me forever to
Don't
watch.
even start with me.
Sorry.
Why did I get this bullshit beer? I want that one.
Oh my God, T. Crawler, please
Why don't you
talk.
tell me
We missed
before-
you. I'm sorry. This is.
Can I finish?
I'll cut them all out.
Can I finish?
No.
It's not a boot the beer.
It's not a boot.
It's not a boot
All right,
beer.
what was your number 1?
I'm just playing. Anyway, so the number 1 that I have is a show that I was asked to watch over and over again, and I didn't want to watch it. And when I finally watched it, I love the show. Never
Was it
watching,
The Tick?
No. Never watching the show, never knowing when exactly it ended. But when it
Firefly,
Yeah,
you
it's
motherfucker.
Firefly, the worst series finale. I mean, it was.
'Cause
It wasn't meant to be a series finale, but it was because it stopped and it pissed me off. I mean, this one is my number 1 because it really freaking affected me. Like, I didn't Wikipedia anything. I didn't even realize how many episodes it was.
So it just ended.
So then
You're
you
like,
felt
what the
like you
fuck?
were
So it
set
ended.
up.
And when I'm watching Hulu, like it goes to the next episode, and they wanted to show me another show. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like going back, like, seriously.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, some like episodes.
Fuck.
I'm like, what? And then he, like, I think I asked him about it.
Yeah.
He's like, no, there's Serenity,
14.
right? You know, you
gotta watch the movie.
They did the movie, blah blah. So I finally watched the movie, and you know, I like the whole thing. Like, as much shit as I give him for Firefly, it was a freaking excellent show. I actually loved it. You know, I think the first episode was, I had to get through that. because it was so long, But I mean, after I did, I loved it. I got like the characters, everything you said about it was freaking.
Yep.
It was an awesome show,
It's
right?
shiny.
I wish I would have watched it when it came out, but
No, but imagine watching that and then it's like, we're canceled. And you're like, with no movie to fall back on.
Right.
You're just like,
When
fuck.
it came out, they didn't air the episodes in order,
Nope.
so it
So
was
you
like
would've
all
known.
fucked
Yeah.
up anyway.
yeah, I heard that too.
You
It
would
was
have been
like, wow. So I'm
And they
kinda-
didn't even air 3 of them.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I watched it when I did, but at
Yeah.
the same time, I didn't Google, just almost like the Red Wedding with this fucker right here. When I watched Game of Thrones, he was like, "What episode are you on?" And I get to the Red Wedding because I didn't read up on anything about Game of Thrones. He got me to watch it, and I watched Red Wedding. He just watches my reaction when that shit goes down at the Red Wedding. I'm like,
So he was at my house and he was the episode before. He's like, I'm gonna go to bed. I was like, no, you need to watch the next one. It's my favorite episode. It's so awesome.
It's so good.
And then he's watching it and he should have figured it out because I'm like this. Just watching him. Also, ow.
yeah. So Firefly, man, I like I said, I love the show. And it's not on the worst list because it was a horrible show. It's just that ending sucked. And it sucked for me because I didn't know what number episode was the last one. And like I said, I'm watching, and Hulu's like, here's a new show. Like, what the fuck? Am I done with this one? Like, so yeah, that's Firefly's my.
Hulu's like, yeah, you are. Nice. All right, good surprise pick there.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
My number one's Dexter. I need to point out that the first 4 seasons of the show are brilliant. It's very, very, very good when it was at its peak. If you've watched the Netflix original series You and you haven't seen Dexter, you would like this show. It's very
Yes,
similar
definitely.
tonally. Okay. The reason the Dexter finale sucked is because, well, really the last 2 to 3 seasons sucked, but the last season really becomes the Hannah McKay show. It becomes everything revolves around her and her relationship with Dexter, which is never completely believable in my opinion because I feel like those actors had zero chemistry together, so it just dragged the entire fucking thing down. But fine. The internal struggle Dexter has had this entire series is with this dark passenger and being the quote-unquote monster and trying to be a normal person and trying to have a human life. So his son is basically the representation of him having a normal human life. Him and his sister. Those are the 2 pillars that keep him grounded and being a person. But the dark passenger always fucks up and always pulls him in the other direction. So then, Deb dying, yes, that should have been the catalyst for him to say, fuck it, I'm out, I'm going to kill myself. But Showtime said no. So you can still do some things here. The fact that he gave his kid to Hannah McKay would have worked with 2 things. 1, if you were going to kill himself, which that's off the table. 2, that should have been representative of the fact that he's saying goodbye to my humanity. I'm not going to be a person anymore. I'm going to embrace the dark passenger and be this monster. And you could have done everything exactly the same. But the last shot when he's up in fucking Alaska or wherever he is, when he's driving away, you start playing the evil theme music from Dexter, the one when he was stalking. And then you play the monologue from season 1, episode 1, give a nice little callback here. And he's like, tonight's the night. It's gonna happen again. It has to happen. He walks to his fucking cabin, opens the door, sits down. You can have the same shot, pan and zoom in. And in the reflection in his eye, you see a motherfucker on the table about to get murdered.
I feel like you've thought about this.
A little bit. And all of a sudden, that one shot changes everything and makes it fulfilling. And you're just like, he embraced the dark side. I'm okay. And I would be 100% okay
That would have
with it.
made it acceptable for him to ditch his kid.
Because he's saying, you can't be around me. I'm a monster. Go be with someone who's trying to be a person.
If he left to be a monster, yes.
But then he's just sitting there staring at... I thought that's what they were going to do. Yeah. And then he's just staring at nothing, and I hated everything about it. That one shot would have made it so much better. Wow. And that's why. It's my number 1.
This is so good.
Are you serious?
Hey, now.
All right, that's my number 1, Dexter.
Num, num, num.
My number 1 is GOT players.
Okay.
All the things. You guys already talked about it. I mean, it's just that the problem is it was such a great show. Probably one of the best television shows ever. And this because people wanted to go make a Star Wars movie, decided that, hey, let's just like get this thing over with. We'll just cut out a bunch of seasons. I don't even know what we're doing. Let's just get this thing over. How do we just get this thing over with? Okay? What do we have to do to get out of this thing? And that's exactly what it felt like, was just what? Let's just I'm done with
The
this.
executives at HBO are watching this like, he gets it. That's exactly what it is.
What it was.
It's like the opposite of a car salesman. What do I have to do to get you out of the
And
show?
They were like, how many more seasons were we going to have? Okay, here's the deal. What?
But I thought they weren't. I thought that they
were.
had a planned amount from the beginning.
No, they were supposed to do like a couple more seasons.
Oh, and then they were like, nah.
And
I
so
don't
they
feel
just
like it.
went, no. What are the key marks we're trying to hit here, okay? Let's just hit them. And then let's slow down in the middle of the season for no reason. And then let's just start going again. Just hit. Done.
It seems like things
Ow!
are being a little rushed. If
Yeah.
only we had more episodes. Would you like more episodes? There's no way to.
No, there's
If
no
you-
way to put it in.
If you guys haven't seen the pitch meeting for Game of Thrones season
that
8,
is
go
hilarious.
YouTube that. That's fucking. That
is
breaks
so
down
hilarious.
everything.
Yeah. I mean,
I
so,
love movie pitch meeting.
Right?
I
They're
love
so
that
good.
so
and,
much.
watching
and
it in a
it
while.
wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
There was some cool things in that last season, and it ended.
That's tight.
It ended a way. I mean, not a way
Super
that everybody's
easy,
happy
really
with, but it
inconvenience.
ended fine enough. It's just the whole season was just pacing wise, and
All
it was
over
just
the
a
place. Yeah.
mess.
Can I just say I got the Game of Thrones toys for the table because I knew it would be on at
everybody-
least
yeah.
at least
But
two
again,
of your
When I saw
But-
that, I was like, oh, yeah.
But I feel like Weapon 2 is making a great point in that it wasn't fucking terrible. And there
No,
were
it wasn't.
good things to it.
Right.
But just the pacing building up to it and just the way certain things happen, you're just like, wow, the fuck,
Well,
man.
I didn't watch it, and I didn't I petered out on my Game of Thrones viewing a little bit before that, just for time reasons. And then I watched how disappointed everybody was at the finale. And I think what it was is that it was such an epic show, and it was building to such a point, and that never happened.
And that's the thing. So, like, it never would have pleased everybody. But a show like that needed to be at least good.
Right.
Right.
And it was just okay at
And,
best.
And it's the problem is you can't just take this story building. You're building at a slow speed, but everybody's interested in it. Everybody's just drawn in. Can't wait to see what's happened next. Taking season after season. What was it? 8 seasons? What is that?
seasons, yep.
And then in the last season, you're like, we got to get the fuck out of this thing. What do we got to do to get out of this? And that's exactly what it was.
Maybe they were writing too many checks.
No, they already had Star Wars on their brain.
They wrote a lot of checks that they couldn't fucking cash. All right. Hailstorms.
My number one little
tick.
depressing show that I like to call Dinosaurs.
Oh, yes. That show was such a dark finale.
Wasn't that horrible
Wait,
for a show?
I don't remember the finale. What
For a show that was
Coconutty. This is coconutty. I'll just say that.
I know, that's why I said,
Yeah.
this is good.
They're talking about the brown water, guys. You don't know. No, for real, I don't. Okay, I loved that show. Don't remember how it ended.
So
though.
for a show that was supposed to be a family show, basically what happens is that there's all this hoopla
the meteor. Sorry.
about the Beatles coming, and the Beatles are supposed to come. What are those Beatles called?
About the real dinosaurs.
Gosh dang it.
I don't remember. Do you remember? What are they?
There was actually.
No, they were like something specific to the show. So these Beatles were supposed to come back, and they were supposed to be beautiful and everything. Well, they had built a factory on the breeding ground, so the Beatles didn't come back. So then they decide to like destroy everything to try and reset the world. And basically through the whole show, things are getting colder.
But it ended the ice
it's
age,
getting
right?
colder.
Like, wasn't the last shot their house or some shit? Like when everyone's dying.
And I remember the dad's like, it's not like we're just going to disappear.
Right.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, because the baby's
right.
like, what's
I
going to
thought
happen
there-
to
I
us?
thought there
Some
was
dark
some plant
shit.
that was growing out of control, and they poisoned it all.
So
and
that's
it
what they
destroyed
did.
all the food.
So they did. It was a whole bunch of things. It was like a series of things that happened where they were basically destroying the earth. Is what
Okay.
is supposed to happen. So like they decided to in order to get the plant. So the Beatles didn't come back, so they didn't eat the plant. So then the plant started growing out of control.
Okay.
So then in order to destroy the plant, they did something with the volcanoes, and then
Right.
basically what happened is they destroyed the earth, and then they died. And so it was supposed to be like this whole like message, but it fucking sucked for people who like this family
But
show.
I remember that they actually
I
had
love it.
lots of dark episodes. They touched on subject matter like addiction and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
that in their own little way to give message. So it was a little bit deeper deeper than it needed to be. So.
Fine, but I don't care. I don't like the
You
ending.
don't like being hurt in your media. We know
I
this.
don't like that. In fact, my high school English teacher told me that because I hated any book that was sad.
Yeah.
And he was like, the world's not always happy.
He's like, life's gonna be hard. Spoilers.
He was later
I know
fired.
about sadness. I just want to read about happy.
He was later fired for sleeping with a student. So
Oh my
fuck
god!
that guy.
Way to take it off the rail.
Right.
Jeez.
Right. That's not part of my harsh reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't
He's
like.
like, there's bad things out there. I know.
Yeah. I'm one of them.
Dinosaurs. It's freaking
That was a good show. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was our top 5 worst series finales of all time. Let us know what you guys think, what your worst 5 are. Does anybody have any honorables they want to throw out there?
For me, I had Gifted. I don't know if any of you guys seen that. It's a
I
newer
watched the
show
first season.
on Fox. So again, it was almost like Firefly because it ended when it shouldn't have ended. Like it started to get good. Like you had Polaris, who's Magneto's daughter, one of his other daughters. She started.
did start watching that. remember?
Right. So
It was pretty
With the
good.
mutants?
they made a bunch of references to like the Brotherhood, the Hellfire Club, and all this stuff. And like she was talking about her father and all this stuff. Like it was starting to get good because they had their agenda, and at the end, like this big, like they started fighting and using more powers, and everything was getting exciting. And then like it's no more.
But that show had the best Easter egg I've ever fucking seen in a show ever. When the main character has a cell phone and it starts ringing, and it's his ringtone is the theme song to the 1990s
Oh, yeah,
X-Men, the
yeah.
animated series. It's like, da-na-na-na-na-na. I lost my shit.
Stan Lee
I
even
was
made
like,
a cameo
oh my
in that
God.
show. Stan Lee even made a cameo in that show.
Oh,
One of
did
the
he?
first couple episodes, yeah. He went into a bar. He passed a guy going into the bar. And then they had a bunch of little Easter eggs in there, the whole thing. So it was a good show. It was one of those that ended because of the whole
Fox, and
Disney
all
thing.
that
So it's like,
nonsense.
it's-
all right.
I hate it when mommy and daddy fight.
Yeah, right.
They ruin everything.
No.
All right, so that was our top 5. Let's move on.
All right, folks. It's time for a little segment. We like to call this or that.
Who's doing the noise?
Woo! I don't know. So, hey,
Let's make Lonnie do it. I mean, T. Crawler.
Yeah,
Go.
T. Crawler.
Toss
T.
it.
Crawler can do
Hailstorm.
those.
Oh, fuck it up. Hailstorm,
Okay.
say it real quick.
This.
Or
That.
this. Oh, go. Come on, go.
This.
Or
That.
This.
or
That.
This.
or
That. I got it. Wow.
or.
Hey, I'm going to have to turn that down.
All right, sorry.
I think he's having a stroke.
All righty. Number 1, folks.
Uh-oh.
You find a book
The what?
You find a book.
and begin to read, only to discover that it's a book about your life. I think we've had one similar to this before. This is different. You get to this point right here, right where we're at, right now.
Now.
Right here.
Do you stop
Meow.
or continue to read? And if so, how far? You will not be able to change the events to come.
I mean, I keep reading, obvi.
I stop. I don't
No,
like to know.
reading.
I
Don't
need
stop?
because I need to know. Am I dying next week? Because then, fuck it, I'm gonna party. I'm gonna
No.
just.
What
burn
if you
through
read?
everything.
What if you read like 20 more years? You just keep reading.
That's
or-
fine. Yeah,
Oh,
I want to.
What if somebody you care about a lot dies?
Well, then I can prepare mentally for it, can't I?
No,
I can
no,
handle
you
it
can't.
very
Because
bad.
then you could waste your last moments with them by worrying so much
Or
about it. And
how
then
many
you have to have
times
that
does
whole
somebody
crisis
die
of
and
conscience
someone's like,
where
"Oh my
you're
god,
do I
this is
tell
like the last
them?
thing I ever said to them," and it's so bullshit. I will actually know and get to take advantage of
prepare.
and spend
Make
good
it
time with
something
them.
awesome to
And
say.
yes,
Then
have a great
The
last
person
day
be
with
wondering
them.
why you keep changing the things that you're saying right now.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
That's not what I meant to say. Well, that's what I was going to say.
Do you want a sandwich? I just
Wait.
love you so much. Sandwiches
Is this
are
Groundhog Day? Can I
meaningless.
do it over?
Yeah.
Hey, do you want crispy or creamy peanut butter? I love you.
Jeez.
I just don't know what I'm
Why are you talking
doing
like
without-
Batman? I don't know. I'm very
We all
emotional.
decide what are you doing?
I already said I stop.
I'm gonna
stopping.
keep reading.
I'm
Keep
stopping.
reading.
Keep reading. Right?
Yeah.
You're stopping?
I'm stopping, yeah.
Bitch.
All right,
You're supposed to
folks.
live life to its fullest anyway. Why would you just only live life to its fullest when you know you're going to
We know
die?
what we're doing. You guys don't.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were a robot, would you want to know? And why?
Who said I'm not?
We're not.
Do we have
We
proof?
don't. We don't. But do you know?
Who said I'm not a robot?
Do we have proof that we're not robots? You guys see an Ex Machina, right? Like when he's cutting himself, like looking at the
This
freaking
says,
mirror. That's
if
rough.
you were a robot, would you want to know?
Okay.
And why would you
I would like to
want
answer.
to know or not know?
Yes, I want to know.
Yes.
Because if I'm a robot and I know I'm a robot, I want to tell you because I'm one of your best friends and you're terrified of robots, and I want to see the fucking look on your face.
I want to know if I'm a robot.
I was
'cause can,
pointing at weapon 2.
Destroy stuff.
Well, then he could stop having his fear if he knew he was
And
a
I
robot.
don't have to be
It's like,
afraid of. I don't have to be
I'm one of
planning
them.
to kill the robots if I'm a robot.
You know what's,
And when I
you know
punch
what's
someone in the face,
worrisome?
I'm going to say go gadget fist.
What's worrisome is if I am a robot,
Yeah.
and if I know, then how do I keep it from him? Because if he finds out, he'll kill me
oh yeah.
if he's not a robot.
Truth.
See, Crawler?
I would not want to know.
Okay. Ignorance is bliss, huh?
Yes.
Ah, fuck you, Cypher. All right.
If you could learn one skill, anything, effortlessly, what would it be?
I'm going to need a minute.
One skill
That's tough.
effortlessly.
You can only learn one.
I think our
One
live
skill,
studio audience
you
has
can
something
learn
to
it
say.
effortlessly. You just automatically know it.
Language.
What?
Language.
Language. You could travel wherever the fuck you want to go and you immediately know how
Our
to
live
say
studio audience is saying language. She would want to speak any language ever.
it.
Is
Yeah,
that what you're
wherever
doing?
the fuck I go.
Uh-huh.
Boring.
I'm gonna go
I thought about that, but it's easier to just fumble through.
They should know
I
English
would-
anyway.
No, because
want to be-
hang on. I know you've never been to Rome. But the looks you'll get trying to order food in Italian when the waiter's just like, really, motherfucker? Like that's priceless. When you go, you'll see.
I'm gonna kill you.
All right, anyway, inside joke. Go ahead. What do you think, Weapon 2? What do you want to be?
I was at first going to say I want to learn. I want to be an expert at all fighting skills and weaponry. Except for, I started thinking that maybe I want to be like a genius in engineering, so I can like build crazy wild stuff like Iron Man armor.
Yeah, and make money and be awesome.
Yeah. So I think I'm not going to be the fighter. I'm going to be like a genius engineer, mechanical
See,
engineer.
you know how you could tell the three of us are dudes? Because our brain immediately goes, I want to know how to fight and be good at everything. Rah!
I didn't.
And then all of a sudden I'm just like, oh, hey, wait, can I make money off that? Probably not. Like,
I was like, I wonder how to make raccoons my friends.
huh.
Maybe I could talk to animals.
Language.
Like-
Well, it has to
like
be a
Dr.
thing
Dolittle.
you mean just like, because it's not like a superpower or something. It's like a real thing you
real
can
thing,
learn
yeah.
and do.
Maybe I can just
real world.
understand them.
Okay.
Like that cat guy.
No, it's going to be the cat guy?
There's
who's
a
the
cat,
guy?
Jackson Galaxy. Remember that show with the cat
My
guy?
cat from California.
He's like, he comes into their
Like
house.
Gorillas in the Mist.
Like the
and
cat
the
whisperer?
cat's doing like cat things, and he's like, "Oh, well, your cat's bored, and it needs this." And then all of a sudden, he solves all their cat problems, and I'm like, "I thought that cat was just doing cat shit. That cat was just being an asshole because cats are assholes." But he's like, "Oh no."
like Carol Baskins.
Oh,
What
that
are we even
bitch.
talking about anymore?
He's like, "No, your cat
Baskins.
sees another cat outside, and so it started
you know what?
marking its territory."
Fuck it. I
like,
want to learn to be the most proficient fighter in any kind of weaponry in the world. That's what I'm going to do. Fuck it.
Okay.
I want to be the best comedian. I want to make people laugh.
Okay.
I like making
Fucking
people
comedians.
laugh. Yes. Just because it's different than everybody else's answer.
If you could visit Jurassic Park for real, would you?
Nope.
Obviously, yes.
I want to see dinosaurs.
Even if it's a 50-50 chance I'm going to be eaten.
I want to try to pet a dinosaur.
Yes. And not like an herbivore. I
White
want to pet a
people.
T-Rex.
Can I have my ability to communicate with animals
White people,
when I
yeah,
go?
Now you're bleeding over.
Yeah, you can. do
Bleeding
that.
over. Would you go to Jurassic
it's
Park?
a
What?
crossover.
What? You want to talk to a Pachycephalosaurus? Is that what you want to do?
Is that even a thing?
Yes, actually, that is a thing.
Sounds made up.
You're already failing. You don't even know what the names of the dinosaurs are.
Gonorrhea cephalosaurus.
Well, Packy would be like elephant-like, right?
Like a pachyderm?
Pachy,
You're
like a
thinking
pachyderm?
probably not.
I'm gonna go to Jurassic Park.
Okay.
You're not going without me.
Crawler?
I'll be safe at home because I'm like, you stupid motherfuckers. You didn't see the other movies? Nope. Not good.
We'll film. We'll record an episode.
We'll do a live
while
stream.
we're
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
record an episode live from Jurassic
These
Park.
guys will be doing the brave thing like they've been doing.
Sorry,
T.
T.
Crawler's
Crawler's
not
not
here
going to be on
again.
this one either. I'm sorry.
He's
It's
fucking
going to be
scared as
awesome.
shit.
We're at Jurassic Park.
You're scared of the fucking dinosaurs while you guys are getting eaten this time.
We have a
Like,
velociraptor sitting in for T. Crawler.
then it bites your heads off. I'm like, yep,
And then
stupid
fucking
fuckers.
Dr. Doolittle over here can talk to it. She'll be like, or whatever the fuck they do.
Stop. We mean no harm. That's all I'm gonna say. We mean you no harm.
All right, this is the last one, folks. If you could make a hybrid animal out of any two species, what two would you choose?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, but is this gonna be like my pet? It'll be cool with me.
It's
So
I'm
it won't
gonna say
eat
this
me.
is like you're gonna be your pet. It's basically kind of at your beck and call. It's like it's your dog or
I
something.
got it. Will you stop explaining? I'm gonna have an eagle raccoon.
Raccoon and what?
And an eagle.
Flying raccoon.
Yeah, but not just any flying animal. An eagle, like a badass, like.
An eagle and a raccoon. She said an eagle and a raccoon.
You know what? Laugh all you want, but my ecoon is gonna rip your head off. Because it's gonna have talons.
A raccoon and a raptor. All right.
Go on a regal.
Wow.
All right.
A regal.
I'm gonna do a lion and an eagle. So like a griffin. Yeah,
griffin?
I'm gonna make
Yeah,
a
that's
griffin.
That's been done.
Yeah,
son.
and my griffin's gonna eat whatever the fuck your thing's called.
What?
I haven't decided if the talons are going to be its back legs and then it has little hands so that it can still eat its food with its hands, which is my favorite thing about raccoons.
You know the worst part of this entire story? I know that's your favorite part of raccoons. I actively know this. And that's one of these fucking things I wish I could just get out of my brain and get rid
What
of.
about raccoons? What?
Her favorite thing about raccoons is how they eat their food with their
that's
hands like people.
like otters, and yeah, they're freaking. It's cool.
Right?
Yeah, they wash their food and shit. Yeah.
Yep.
What do you want, T-Crawler?
A Wolverine and a wolf. Something like a Wolverine.
Why? Tell me
Why? You
want a
okay? You
Wolverine.
realize a Wolverine is just like a big badger, right?
Yeah,
like
but it's a ferocious badger. What are you talking about?
But it's a badger. A
bigger
wolf
than a
by itself would murder a Wolverine.
No.
I
Are
feel
you serious?
like
Yes.
you
No,
have
it
to
would
name
not.
first.
No,
it
No,
would.
it would
A
not.
wolf? No, Wolverine's
No.
pretty bad.
Did this
Wolverine's
just
badass.
start?
They scare them away.
They chase
Wolverines-
off bears.
It's
They
worse
chase
than a
off
bear.
bears.
Because
It's a
they're
badger.
little assholes. If you actually mold it.
Wolverines are almost like small bears, dude. Like seriously, it's worse than a badger.
They're very badass and cranky.
Yes.
That's just because they put on a big show. They're all puffing their chest
You know
out.
what? I support your ability to combine a wolf and a wolverine.
Yeah, and I support your.
Okay,
your
right.
Did you start with the words though first before you decided about the
Why don't
rest?
you have some more brown water?
did.
What
Wolverine.
weapon 2 you haven't talked yet?
What do I want?
I just want the reason I want to ride the griffin. Like I want to fly around and it can have it murder people for me.
Oh boy.
You make
Hey,
fun
what's
of us,
yours
but
there,
yours
weapon
is the
two?
thing that's already been done. We showed imagination.
Yeah.
And your imagination sucks.
A honey badger and a porcupine.
Oh,
That's what I want.
honey pie.
Isn't a
Honey
porcupine
badger
kind of already
and
a
a
honey badger
porcupine.
and a porcupine?
No. Honey badger doesn't give a fuck. All right.
Neither does a porcupine.
Honey badger is ferocious. Everybody's
more
afraid of a honey badger. And he's a porcupine. What?
Your mom is ferocious.
Wow.
Oh, T. Crawler,
All
that's horrible.
right.
Do not.
So
Sharon Hale is a saint. She's a motherfucking saint. I did not appreciate that at all.
don't you mean weapon 1?
Oh shit.
Weapon 1 is a saint.
I will take your mother to a delightful seafood dinner.
Oh my god.
And never call her again.
With your fucking honey badger porcupine.
Oh my god.
All right, that was this or that. That was a good one. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Hellstorm, talk about social media if you can.
I can't right now.
Weapon
Come
2,
on.
talk about social media.
Well, we've got a lot of things going on. We've been doing a lot of Instagram stuff. Hailstorm has. We haven't posted things the last couple of days. We kind of been off posting
low,
stuff.
laying
There's been some
low.
serious
Yeah.
stuff going on in the world right
Real
now,
shit happening.
but we're gonna get back into it. A lot of real new original content for that. We always, as always, we have our theworldsgreatest.net, which is our hub for all things. Got our podcasts, everything we're doing. Still have Patreon for anybody that wants to help us support our things that we're doing, our next project, which I think we've said before, is our green screen. We want to get that up so we can do a lot of new videos for you guys. And we're still doing our giveaways. So our next goal is going to be 300 subscribers. So keep subscribing. Always make sure that you like, comment, interact with us everywhere.
Share
on all
it.
of what?
Share it.
Share it. Everything you do, every time you click on something, that you like something, that you comment on something, it helps us. All the interaction helps us.
Yes.
So keep doing that. I don't know. What else?
I got a question for you. Are we still? Do they still have time to comment on the superhero, the comic thing? Because
whatever.
Well, no,
I mean, I'm almost done.
No, because
I've got-
I really want these guys to know. Like, come on, TWG Army. Like,
Here's
listen.
the deal.
Come on.
I've got. Here's the thing. I've already, without your help, figured out about all the superheroes we're gonna have in the team. I had one help from Sad Grandpa
Panda.
Yeah.
Help me come up with this couple superheroes. I think we got a team.
Okay.
We can take a look. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We'll put it all together once we get it, and you guys can still help me come up with a name. I mean, nobody's come up with a name yet.
I just thought it was cool because I mean, how many comics have you read and been like, man? Now you have an opportunity.
Sounded like a lot of fun and a big opportunity to
be
help
part of a comic.
to
Be like,
pitch
man,
in.
this I would like to see this kind of character or
you
this
know.
or
Some people just don't like fun.
well.
So yes,
I
check
mean, I
us out
feel
on
like
every
I'm
platform.
always-
Want to throw a big shout out to friend of the show, Alias, for making us
Yeah.
these awesome TWG
Yeah.
custom cookies. Oh fuck! It's morphin' time, motherfucker!
morphin' time.
Captain Mel.
Steamcrawler!
You gotta say the name.
Weapon 2!
Yeah.
Hailstorm!
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the world's greatest news and reviews. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
Go, the world's
Peace.
greatest!
Peace.
Dun, 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 dun.